All right, party people in the place to be, vandals and all those worthy enough to lift the hammer of Thor. This is a brand new episode of How'd We Get Here? And man, this is a cool one. We're welcoming back a friend of the show with a new friend of the show. He is doing a book with a new artist this time, and we're really happy to meet him. But before that, yo, Joe, it's your half of the intro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see if I could do this properly now with the QR codes and everything. All right. So this episode of How'd We Get Here is brought to you in collaboration with Power Pulp Comics, the best of self-published comics, all under one roof. Yes, my friends, that's right. They have over 100 titles available on their site. The Power Pulp Collective is just a collection of indie self-published creators coming together to get comics into your hands more easily. There's also a wholesale deal for anyone who has a comic shop. You can go onto the site. There's a form you fill out. You get 50% off wholesale for shops. And any orders of 200 and more get free shipping domestically. So go check that out. All right. They also have a Discord. You could sign up to the Discord. As you can see, there's a QR code up in the corner. You can scan those QR codes to go to the site, or here we go. You could go sign up to the Discord if you want. You have creators, readers, all kinds of people sharing what they read, their hauls, talking about process. They're showing off their work, their latest art, everything. So you can go check that out. Get some fun hangout with a few people. There's a good crowd over there. Yeah, we have a giveaway as well. Our last episode with Rot Steak, we have a giveaway. Either you could get issues 1 and 2 of Everything is Super, or you could go on the merch store and pick some merch. If you already have both issues, you can either get the books or merch. You have the options of one or the other. Yeah, we have another giveaway as well. We had John Coates and Hex on for they actually just launched today as well, a Kickstarter.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it launched Thursday. Sorry, launching Thursday.
Okay.
So that launches Thursday. We have a giveaway for that. So you go find the episode and you just write Power Pulp down in the comments, and that's how you enter to win. We'll draw a winner once I get back from Toronto Comic-Con. I'll be there this weekend with Adrian Caloric. Come by the table. It's no longer table 115. It'll be P100. They switched the tables. So if you're in Toronto and you're down at the Comic-Con, stop by, come say hi. Come buy some of Adrian's books. And also, I forgot to say, for the Rot Steak giveaway, you go to the episode on YouTube and just write Everything is Super down in the comments, in the YouTube comics down on the Rot Steak episode for your chance to enter to win. All right, I guess that's pretty much it, Johnny.
Yeah, we got Saboteur Comics in the chat. I just want to say hi. I also back your book. Tommy's looks magnificent. I can't wait to get that in my hands. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and let these fellows introduce themselves. How are you guys doing this wonderful evening?
Good, Carl.
Good. Hi, Carl. I'm the artist. Don't know what more you need to know.
Well, I mean, what's the book? Come on.
Oh man, I want Nate to do the pitch. He's the writer.
Carl is also an assassin, but he doesn't want people to know that.
Yeah. There was never just one.
My name is Nate. I run the indie publishing company Pork Chop Express. I'm tired. If you ask how I'm doing, couldn't fall asleep last night, man. Don't you hate it when like you're comfy, but you just can't fall asleep? Like I was up till 5. That was horrible. Anyways, life goes on. The story is about a young Hawaiian girl from Kapa'a in Kauai. Her name is Kalani, and she tragically loses a family member, and they are going out to get some ceremonial leaves to make a lei. I forget the exact name of the lei, but it's a special lei. And her and her uncle and her cousins, and they come across Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. And I had to look it up. Only specific to Marvel, which you have to be careful with trademark things. Only in the Marvel universe can you have to be worthy to pick it up. So I have to watch out with how I phrase that. But she is able to pick it up. And there's also the sword and the stone, that story. So he was worthy. So there's that angle. But yeah, so it's imagine an 8-year-old with all the power of Thor's hammer. Controlling weather, lightning, different stuff like that. So it's meant to be a lot of fun. It's kind of my cousin is Hawaiian. It's my
Okay, cool. I was going to ask, like, who was your cultural advisor on it? Because you make sure to use a lot of phrases in the language and stuff, and you explain what it means and everything. So, like, yeah, there's a lot of culture to it. And I was going to ask where that came from. So, your cousin, that's cool.
So my dad was a biker, and his good buddy was my godfather, and he was 100% Hawaiian. They both passed away, but his daughter her name is Manu. She lives on Kauai, and she's kind of helped me develop the idea. It's a little taboo because it's like a white guy infringing on Hawaiian culture. But I literally have gone and tried to talk to people at the University of Hawaii. I've contacted people on Instagram, and it's a lot harder to find people that are willing to work on something with an outsider. And as you've seen, if you've read it, it doesn't get into too much. So I'm hoping to launch this with Carl, have some success, and then find somebody that likes the idea, and we can build into the lore of two different cultures that are very different, but also very similar, which would be Norse and Hawaiian in my storytelling mind. So
that's weird, because I was thinking of another group getting kind of pissy that you gave like a person of color, like this extreme white person, power. And I think that's kind of cool too. So like you were talking about, I don't know if I should be able to write this, but I mean, like, I don't know. I never thought that like you have to be of a certain, as long as you do it respectfully, you should be able to, if you have love for that certain culture or an interest in it, I think you should be able to, represent that, in your own work, as long as you do it respectfully, which you obviously do. So, but yeah, that was kind of like, I was thinking about like, you might need to maybe worry about those guys getting angry at you more than I would probably, the Hawaiians getting mad at a haole, doing.
Yeah, well, it's kind of cool because like Carl, we were playing around with this idea initially. Carl, I don't remember if he asked me, but I don't know if you saw, I posted Carl's version of the Hawaiian transformed Thor's hammer, which is really good, like really good. And Carl spent time like crafting this thing that, when it first comes, it's the normal,
Norse version, like the kind of the one that the Vikings wore on their necklace, yeah.
And then Carl jazzed it up a little bit.
It was a lot of research
It's definitely
to figure out what Thor's hammer might really have looked like, and then also if you search it, man, there are some really cool ancient Hawaiian weapons out there that were very inspirational.
And you kind of worked it in, like if you look at the top here on the cover is probably the best example of it for issue 2. You'll see that the it has the teeth on it, kind of like how the Hawaiians would work, like they'd make little points like that out of like
they've got a lot of shark teeth incorporated into their weapons.
And I thought that was really cool when I saw that, and like it all kind of came together. I'm like, that's neat, you know what I mean? Plus, like, she gets a longer handle, you know what I mean? Which is cool. Gives her kind of like what are those kind of little horses that little kids ride on, the stick horses? Kind of a look for her.
Hobby horse.
Yeah. Well, in the lore of Thor, I don't remember initially the hammer it was a double-handed hammer, and there was some situation or circumstance
Loki, it was Loki messing with him, trying to mess him up while they were making the hammer, so they broke the handle off and made it too short. And they said, well, we're just going to use it anyway.
So this Kickstarter launched today, right?
Yep.
So today, if anyone's noticed, there's a QR code up here in the corner that brings you to the Kickstarter page, so you could go back it. The Kickstarter's live now, So anyone that's interested in this can go scan that QR code. It'll bring you straight to the Kickstarter page, and you can back it through the QR code that's on the screen.
We're $13 away from our goal. If somebody buys one of Carl's original prints, I'll throw in something special. I could go fishing over here and pull out some really cool books. And but if you please support. But if you get something like Carl's artwork, which goes straight to Carl, yeah, we'll throw in something extra special for you.
Yeah, 3% missing now.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah. You could get both issues of this book for like $20 in America. Like that's a great deal. I mean, for a Kickstarter book, like that's pretty killer. So I really recommend jumping on this. The artwork in this book is beautiful, and for my personal pitch, I would say like it's a little Lilo and Stitch meets Firestarter right now, because cops chasing her down. You know what I mean? She's kind of kicking the cops' asses. Like it's really exciting. But like the first two issues, it's kind of like still like you're just getting like the first 25 minutes of the movie in right there. So how long are you guys like thinking of doing this? Is it going to be about a 6-issue or something like that?
If I can convince Carl to stick around, I don't know. The story actually, I don't know how much I can talk, but the story isn't just fighting, and it's actually about her becoming a woman, which again, I'm not a woman or Hawaiian, but I've seen my cousin and like grow up and deal with different things from a young age, and I was just always kind of encouraged by her, because it's like, some people measure strength, in XYZ of you can lift this much, or you're this smart, or you get this much money a year. And some people just go through life with struggles and they continue through that. And it's really kind of, that's the story. And there will be some wild stuff that happens. I wanted to bring in aliens. I want her to get like, the government's trying to manipulate her. I think it could go on. It's just a matter of like, if Carl and I are going to continue, which, getting the Kickstarter funded, hey, somebody just pledged. If we can get the Kickstarter funded, we can talk about continuing. But the opening scene of the second one will be a Hawaiian poem and her in a battle. And it's going to kind of do nonlinear storytelling in my mind, so it'll jump around a little bit. But yeah, it's I don't want to give up the ending. I already know what the ending is. And yeah, it's just about a young girl that. Do you have access to the Phoenix Fan Fusion exclusive cover? Did I send that?
That's the with the face.
No, it was it's her back, and she's carrying the world on her shoulder. Yeah, there it is. And she's dragging the hammer, and it says, "This shit is heavy." And the idea is that the youth carries the weight of the world that their parents have passed down to them. And she has this weapon of immense power, and she doesn't know how to use it, so she's just dragging it. So it's kind of this story of like, how we grow up into this world that our parents left us. It's like, great. Thanks a lot. So I guess that's kind of the deal. And hi, Katie.
Yeah, K-pop's in the house. How you doing? Yeah, she's awesome. Oh, well, but one thing about like kind of the action in the first two issues that like I've had access to read, I really like that. That is something that I could see the American government doing, like being like, oh hey, Thor's hammer dropped Earth. Like we should go and try to get that and like steal it from whoever can use it and try to use it ourselves. I could literally see like that, like if it happened, that being the case, you know what I mean? So I got a bit of chuckle out of that, you know what I mean? Not to mention, she had a little pent up rage because of what happens at the beginning of issue 1. It's pretty traumatic. It's kind of like, Nate's trying to hit them James Gunn notes, trying to get you all sad like the Guardians of the Galaxy movie a little bit at the beginning. So yeah, it's tragic because she gets cursed by the gods and gifted by the gods in the same week, pretty much, right? Which is, I mean, that's neat mythology.
Way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the
I-
things that attracted me to the story too is because I used to live in New Orleans, and you get this horrible like relationship with tourists where like you become economically dependent on them, and they're also destroying your culture at the same time. And that was kind of my end, like where because how you have to wonder, how do I connect with a little Hawaiian girl, like being a middle-aged white guy, but that was my experience where I think I could connect with it, and the government in this case is kind of doing the same thing the tourists are doing.
Look at this, man. Ah, dude, back this book. Look at that. Bam.
I-
That's some action right there.
Carl's
Damn.
artwork. It's because the artists are all different, right? And people have come to me and say, I want to do art. I want to do art, and choose me. And it always makes me feel weird because I don't know. I don't vibe with things initially. That doesn't mean that it can't happen. Like for Night of the Chihuahuas, people would come and say, I want to do a cover for you. And I'm like, that doesn't work for me right now. But Carl's art, like it's kind of surreal, and like I mean, in his own books, it's very almost like psychedelic fine art. But I really love kind of the direction that he's taken, and feel like it gives the story like a different kind of life. Yeah, I don't know, it's really cool. Yeah, I hope he'll put up with me.
Well, his
I've
art's
taken
kind
more
of
of
really.
a,
Go ahead.
taken more of, I guess, I have different influences than most comic book artists. Like that cover right there. I mean, if you go to Google Image and you type in Rembrandt um, landscape, you're gonna see something similar like that. But if you go look at Jim Lee or something like that, you're not gonna see something similar. So I'm just coming from a different place. But I took the mythology angle more than the comic book superhero angle for this.
Your art has a very earthy tone with White Wolf and with this. Like they're very natural looking things happening all the time, and like you just tap into that. Like I showed these earlier, these nature pages that you do with the kids on the hike, and like it's beautiful. And you have similar stuff like that in White Wolf, and like yeah, you just like have this very earthy feel to your artwork. I don't know how else to put it, but
Kind of
like
obsessed with texture.
I think my favorite thing that Carl does is the underwater shots. They're like, I don't know, it is it's like I don't know, it's like I can't process it. It's just so cool.
I didn't clip it, but yeah, when she's underwater and she's like got the lightning coming out of her eyes and she makes it strike the boat, like oh, dude, yeah, that was just so good looking, man.
Nice. Did it make sense to you, the ending?
Oh, definitely. I'm very interested to see where it goes. It yeah, it looks like it's going kind of in an old school Vertigo comic kind of way now. That like she's down at the end of the what happens to her at the end of issue 2, and then she's in a place now where she's actually meeting the gods, and I guess from what I'm taking, they're going to kind of train her a little bit, like Odin's there, and I'm not sure who the goddess is that like was
It's Hawaiian goddess of the sea. Her name is Namaka.
Okay.
That makes me very happy, by the way. I was a huge Vertigo fan. That's what kept me interested in comics as I got older.
Yeah, definitely. I was the same way. And yeah, this has that really type of vibe where like she's actually going to get the tutelage of them, and they're depicted in such fun ways. You know what I mean? It really brought me back to like House of Mystery and Hellblazer and stuff like that, when like gods and stuff would get into play with the characters. Like it's good stuff.
I don't want to get too far off of Thunder, but how did you like Drip?
Oh man, I loved it. I can't wait for issue 2. Like Drip. Also, it's weird. You kind of have like a Kingish type thing to you, because this reminds me of Firestarter, whereas like Drip kind of has more of a
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me meets Salem's Lot, maybe. Although not really vampires, but like he's going to be something akin to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm feeling like he feeds on their paint or something. I'm not sure, but I love the setup that we get in issue 1. Issue 1 is just kind of the cold open in a way. You get the origin story mostly in issue 1.
I'm feeling a little more confident, like getting my writing out and underneath me. Something cool I can share is that The Family Man is officially optioned and is on the slate to be filmed this year. So we have a pre-production meeting on Thursday. But I'm thank you for, kind of acknowledging the writing, because there's so many comics, and I wonder, like, how do I stand out compared to these other ones? And I try to come up with unique stories, and then getting to find somebody like Carl, getting a vibe going. That's really where it gets exciting to me, is like, I started writing The Family Man Part 2, and I've written, since the last time I was on, I've written 3 more comics that I don't know if they'll ever get made, but just the exercise of doing it. And, next week, Carl and I are going to WonderCon.
Nice. We're going to ask about that later on in the show. But yeah, dude, like if you guys are going to WonderCon, hit up these guys, man. It's going to be awesome.
I'm hoping that people will actually respond at the shows, though.
What town is WonderCon in?
LA, right? Or is
Yeah,
that a different one?
LA. Okay.
Anaheim.
Anaheim. Cool.
Yeah.
I'd
you
say
support the book. We'll keep making it. We'll keep making more issues, but we got to get the support.
Yeah, it's important. We're only $7 away from hitting our goal. I can't see who's on the thing, but jump
Wow. Yeah, I checked like 3 hours ago, and that was way better.
What kind of stinks is we got a decent pledge this morning, and the person messaged, and they're like, "I will help you with your campaign. You need to email me," and blah blah blah. And I just had a feeling like, it's
scam.
Yeah.
Scam.
We waited like an hour. I don't know if you're keeping up, Carl, but then they pulled their pledge away. I'm like,
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, because I saw that message and then I went to log in and like on my email, and then when I went to log in, it was gone.
yeah.
So apparently they caught the scam and got rid of them for us, or maybe you did. I don't know.
It's just jokers, but
Someone else talked about that as well.
There's been a big problem too with people. There's one guy I know that he's hit a bunch of artists and writers where he pledges and then cancels. Like he pledges right when they're about to make it, and then he cancels.
the worst is when they pull at the very end of your campaign if they made a sizable contribution, and it back under your goal. It's like, what can you do?
I'd like to talk about the art here. We were talking before we went live, and you said most of your pages are done in pencil or charcoal, right, for this book?
Mostly pencil, yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like the effects there, the lighting effects and stuff like that, do you go into Photoshop and touch it up, or is that all done straight on the page with the pencil?
That's a lot of Photoshop in there, especially that panel. Not so much the others, but that because of the lightning strike.
Okay, yeah, you have another one here with lightning too, which is pretty cool shot.
Now that is like 95% pencil.
Okay,
yeah,
I just adjust the contrast a little bit.
Okay,
yeah, that looks.
Add the lettering.
Yeah, that one looks a little. Yeah, you can tell that one's more penciled than the other one.
That's a nice.
Yeah,
it's a double page spread right there.
Yeah. I was looking for. You have an awesome. I think it's a wraparound cover, right? Where her face is split into two.
It's two. It's a connecting cover.
Oh, they're connecting covers. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's not mine though.
Yeah, but that's a cool one too, where you see like that's a cool cover. Is that for the second issue?
That's issues 1 and 2, cover B.
Okay, 1 and 2 covers B for 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's. Okay. I really want to incorporate some of the graffiti artists.
Okay.
Stuff, and this is a graffiti artist from Spain named Bubblegum.
Oh yeah.
Can you show the crow on the lighter one, Carl? Can you guys see it?
Oh yeah, up in the corner. Yeah.
There's this thing called ornamental style, and it's pretty wild.
Oh, I know this. I remember last time you were on, we went and we talked about this artist.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So Yeah, it's fun to have cover A, cover B. I think it's fun. Yeah.
So
I-
is this a double campaign, or did you run a campaign for issue 1 previously?
No, double.
This is a
campaign.
double campaign, right?
Okay.
So you're launching for issues 1 and 2 in this campaign. So if people are looking to back it, you don't have to worry about like missing out, because this is a double issue launch. So issues 1 and 2, this campaign is for both issues. So you guys are getting in on the ground floor of the story right now with this campaign. So that's cool.
That makes sense. I thought maybe you snuck this one out while I was in the hospital in December, but like, okay, because like I remember you told us that you were going to be doing Of Thunder when you were on for Drip, and then like I saw that like issue 2 was up for Kickstarter, and I didn't know that it was both. Like usually when people do 1 and 2, that means like
Yeah, because I saw you post this cover, the A cover for issue 1, and I was like, I don't remember seeing it pop up like as a Kickstarter beforehand and stuff. So that's why I was wondering when I saw issues 1 and 2, I was like, this must be a double campaign, because I didn't see it pop up any other time. So
The idea was to make a 48-page-ish book, and Carl went and started coloring. We talked about doing pencils and then coloring that, because that's what I had seen work with Max Flowers on the Family Man, and Carl found a groove with it, and we took a pencil, a black and white version, with us to Fan Fusion, and so many people loved the art just black and white.
Black and white, yeah.
Carl and I talked about it, and I believe we decided, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
issue 1 and 2, and then we're going to do the 48-page in full color. And I think that's almost already done as well.
Yeah, eventually we'll get it colored. But I think really with today's prices going up for everything, a black and white option is really important for every indie comic maker to do.
Okay.
It's just, more affordable for the buyer.
Yeah.
not sure I want to see that in color now, man. Like it just looks so good.
Yeah. There's some pages I'm like, I shouldn't have colored it. Some pages look better, and then other pages I'm like, no, it was better in black and white.
We have
So I'm working through that right now.
We have Carl's apprentice, his helper here, helps put the final touches on his
the final touches.
Star of Night of the Chihuahuas.
Hey, wait till you guys see Night of the Chihuahuas. Carl's working on that, and we've talked about a cover idea for Night of the Chihuahuas, and it's based off of something that he's already done that looks unreal to me. It's amazing. I don't know if I should give too much away, but really excited. I think Carl finished that this week. Night of the Chihuahuas too.
Very cool.
Oh wow, look at that! Is so awesome right there, dude. Oh, dude, that is
Put
awesome.
that away. We're giving too much away on that.
And I just want to say thank you to Saboteur Comics, because Saboteur Comics just put us over 500. So, hooray!
Yeah,
right,
I supported his book, by the way, too.
Yeah,
I can't wait for it. Tommy's, yeah.
Tommy's,
check that
yeah.
out.
Tommy's, yeah.
It's great,
It's only available in physical right now. So if you want to back that, it's a physical copy. I think it's there's maybe 15 days left on that, roughly.
Yeah. I think it's on the.
We're a little over halfway now.
Let me check really fast, man. I know that it's really cheap too. I think it's only like a $15 if you just get the book like I do.
Yeah, it's fun. A lot of like
$13 for just the book. Let's see, 18 days to go, so a little under. Yeah, so it ends on April 5th. So you got a little bit of time to get on it, but check it out, man. The campaign looks great. It's a noirish, like Splatterhouse looking thing, man. Looks like it's going to be a mix between the two. I'm down for that.
Very
I don't know if I can plug it again, but if you guys, I don't know how many people are in the chat, but if you guys want to go onto our campaign and buy one of Carl's original artwork pieces, I'm willing to throw this in. It's a black and white and gold foil.
Nice.
Ian Cinco's cover. I know it's not an Of Thunder thing, but these are limited edition and they look pretty friggin' sweet, I think.
So anyone who backs the art tier, you'll throw one of those in.
Right. And yeah, let him know that you saw this episode to get that deal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So he knows that we sent you. Well, I
It-
mean,
It'll only be during the episode. So
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna lie. You hit me up recently, and you're like, "Hey, did you win something from a show?" And I kind of went like, "Yeah." And you sent me not the Chihuahuas, but like I don't know. I love that book, so I'm willing to give you the rest of the money for it if you want, man. I feel a little bad about that, so I'm just gonna fess up here on the air.
I don't. That's the thing. I have my memory is really bad. I feel bad because it's like I say I'm going to do something and then sometimes I forget, and I don't ever want to like jip anybody. They think I'm trying to get over on them, but
Oh, you're pretty good about it, man. When I first met you, it was because of K-pop. Family Man was on there, and like I went and backed the black and white and the color version, and I got the metal cover for Night of the Chihuahuas issue 5, I believe, the Ghost Rider
yeah.
homage. Yeah, it's so beautiful. Like I love it.
Yeah,
Night of the Chihuahuas is fun. I'm really happy you're doing a new one. Like that's just it's silly, but like it's such a fun concept. You know what I mean? You really take it to a really good place. You know what I mean?
we have a guy that has said he has interest in making Night of the Chihuahuas a movie. He's local down here. He has all the resources available. But we're I don't know. I really hope, and this is once again trying to with Carl, if I hope he stays on with Night of the Chihuahuas series, but it's there's just a lot to do, and I don't know if I could talk a little bit about indie publishing.
If you want, go right ahead.
Yeah, man.
It's hard.
Yeah.
There's so much to do. Like it's just kind of blows me away.
There's no roadmap either. You just got to make it up as you go along.
Yeah. Well, it's like working with Carl. Carl is a different beast than I am. And our work styles, I've learned over time, are just very different. And it's interesting because I work with a number of artists, and I'm doing things like organizing a mental health panel for El Paso Comic-Con in May. We have 2 tables at Phoenix Fan Fusion. We're filming a documentary on indie comics, which I have to help set up that. 2 mental health or 2 panels at Phoenix Fan Fusion. Going to WonderCon, ordering books of Thunder Kickstarter, Drip Kickstarter, Night of the Chihuahuas 2 Kickstarter. And I mean, and that's right off the top of my head. We just had to do taxes. We have to talk to a lawyer because we might be doing something with a major league sports team. It's bizarre because I didn't think I would get into it, and like I'm just burnt out. And but I love it. I mean, to like get on here with you guys and share this, like there's such a huge reward, and all the headaches and frustrations are just kind of like it's worth it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was getting that feeling from your Instagram lately. You put up that picture of the check, the $12 and something cents, and like he didn't even tell you, like didn't put the date on there and stuff.
Didn't sign it. Oh man.
Yeah, it sounded like somebody hitting a wall type of post, you know.
I thought we would work. I don't know how to say it. I think we create books that are better than average.
Oh, definitely.
I see a lot of quality stuff, and I still feel like ours are kind of, I don't know, 70-80% above the norm, or is that right? But we haven't found a way to like get continual income, like a revenue. A couple years ago, we made thousands of dollars. Last year, we lost money. Like it's just not consistent. And for the amount of work that we put in, like Carl, are you retired now, or is that? Oh, from what I know, Carl's like retired. And like, we're able to do this because I'm medically retired, and it allows us to do this. But people that do this stuff, hold a job, have kids, go to shows. It's a lot of freaking work, man. I'm sorry, I don't want to go on a rant. I just It's the more I get into it, the more I have appreciation for like creators that bust their ass, and I can do this full time, and it is a lot to me. I don't want to say it's not like I'm whining. It's a lot.
No, I mean, like, it's a good perspective to learn about, like, creators. We had Rod Steak on the other night, and like he was saying kind of the same thing. Like, and it's more on or off, like between days, whether he's full on quitting or if he's excited about doing another issue. And I get that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not very well off either, you know what I mean? And I couldn't imagine. I would love to put out a comic book, but to just kind of try to put that much time away and like actually like learn how to ink properly, because I don't know how to do that. I can just draw all right, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I would love to, but like I wouldn't even know really how to put it all together, you know what I mean? Because I don't know how to like just get like a piece of 11 by 18 or whatever it is, and draw panels. Like I would draw probably a panel would be a page for me, and I just kind of put it all together with the computer, you know what I mean, and just size the drawings up, and that's how it would work for me, you know what I mean, type of thing.
Yeah.
I think that, and I think everybody's kind of like that. I know like guys that like literally cut like all their drawings out and then they form them on the page together, you know what I mean, as the panel. There's just comic books are fascinating that way, you know what I mean? So but you have a really good strong suit, Nate, and that is you can pick out artists that are just perfect for what you want to do. Like Brandon for the graffiti book, Max for the slasher book, Carl for this very nature-based God, God of Thundertake. Like, oh man, it's just perfect people for the books, and I that is a talent.
I think
it really.
I think part of that is luck too. I can't take all the credit for that. Just the right person, the right time, getting introduced to people. And I have said no to people before, but yeah, I just feel very lucky to get to work with them. So I was just looking at, I was sending the book to print, looking through the pages again. And I'm just like, man, I love this. So.
It's beautiful. Like honestly, like just going through the PDF, I'm just like, this book is so beautiful. Like when I actually get the issues, I can't wait to see them. What kind of papers are going to be on, by the way? Just wondering.
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I think 70-pound gloss. We're just switching printers because with the thing overseas with war and tariffs and like all these things are changing the cost of printing. And I went into a shop with Drip recently, and Drip's full color, 24 pages, I think. And I had to charge more. We have to raise our prices. And the owner was like, I can't accept this. He's like, if you can get it printed somewhere else for cheaper, I'll pick it up. But it was kind of defeating because I love the printer we were with, but we just can't afford them.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to this company, and they have a very good quality as well. But it's 100-pound gloss cover and 70-pound gloss interior pages. I don't know, Carl, is that good?
Yeah, I wouldn't go with like the newsprint that's kind of popular right now to give it a retro feel, but I wouldn't do it for this book. Yeah, I think you're on the right track. I'm sorry, I got a door-to-door salesman that won't leave. It's driving my dogs insane.
I'll on something on the for add-ons. Do you have all your lineup of books from Pork Chop on there as add-ons for people that back this book?
I don't have none of the Chihuahua stuff on there, just Family Man and Drip so far.
Okay, well, those are two fantastic books. So people can, let's say they missed out on previous Kickstarters you did. Your last one was Drip, so you can pick that up through this Kickstarter as well, or Family Man, which is another excellent, if you like slasher horror, with a very cool art style and color palette. It's definitely a fun one to pick up. So go check out the add-ons if you back this book and you haven't read any of those other two titles. I highly recommend that people pick up those extra titles as well as add-ons. I had a quick question for Carl. I want to know, did you name your skeleton there that we see in the background? Does he have a name? Did you name it?
Melvin.
Melvin? That's a good name, actually. I like that.
It's just random. There's no story behind it.
No.
Well, I always wanted one too. I have like skulls, a couple of fake skulls, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, I always wanted like a skeleton too. That's dope.
Is that where'd you get that skeleton? Is there a story behind it?
No, I mean, it's just artist supply stuff. Like that's reference. Like I use that.
Use it for reference. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Just like I got a saber-toothed tiger skull.
Yeah, I
back
saw
there
the skull
too.
there too, up on the shelf.
Piranha.
Yeah.
I have
Stuff.
What I can get.
I have a Battlestar Galactica action figure from the 70s.
Oh,
Wow.
you got the Daggett.
That is some serious nostalgia.
Too bright. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, you can't see the rest of the studio, but I've got an AT-AT walker, my old Atari 2600.
Yes.
Oh, you still have that?
What's that?
Is that the one you had from a kid, or did you have to rebuy it?
Yeah.
How much is it? How much is it worth?
Oh, it doesn't work.
Oh,
I mean,
because those things now are worth money now. Like,
I think my parents found it in their garage and had been in there for like 30 years. And that's, garages get pretty hot in the summer here in Arizona. So it's fried.
Yeah.
and just a little add-on to the add-ons is Carl's book, White Wolf, is in the add-ons as well.
Oh, there you go. So perfect.
There's a few things on my website. I'm not going to push them here. But yeah, there's a link. There's a link to the Kickstarter on my website too.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Feel free. What's your website? Like, I'll go ahead and put that in the chats.
Ratracecomics.com. Just Rat Race Comics, all is one word.
Ratracecomics.com. And
Yeah,
that's your handle online too. If people want to go follow you on Instagram to check out your work. It's
at rat period race period comics.
Yeah.
This is one of the other books. This is why it gets confusing. Like I want to keep doing Of Thunder, but that book got picked up by a publisher. The White Wolf is picked up by another publisher. And I mean, as of yet, I don't know how much money any of this is going to make. I don't know which direction I'm going to go in. But, so it's really kind of up to the public, like who buys the most.
Yeah.
Can you say who
I did? I don't want to get too much into this, but I was a federal employee and I got pushed into early retirement. So I am doing this full time now. So I could do plenty more than just one series a year. I could probably juggle 2 or 3 a year. So we'll see how it works out.
Well, I mean,
next Barry Windsor Smith here, man. God damn. Look at this
What's
guy
that?
go. This is the next Barry Windsor Smith here, man. Watch this guy go.
Oh yeah, funny story about that. I met him and at a book signing, and he just tore me apart. I showed him my portfolio. He was just rude as hell. Like, so yeah. Still love his art, but
some people, if you want portfolio reviews, some guys they can be brutally honest about what they think.
90s were a different time too. Yeah, that was pretty normal to get ripped apart. And I've been used to that, but I was just used to people doing it professionally, like being very harsh, but in a professional way. And he was pretty rough around the edges. But I was also in my early 20s. I was not as good as I am now. So maybe I had it coming. I don't know.
I think he's a little jaded by the industry and everything too. Like if you've heard comments from when his monster book came out, like saying that he should have chosen another profession, stuff like that. So yeah.
I think that's that 90s guy thing. Like Alan Moore was like that. There's a bunch of like kind of respectable people that have that kind of attitude towards the art form.
Yeah, I graduated art school in the 90s, and we carried our portfolios around to the Comic Cons that were 1/3 the size they are now, and that was it. You just got beat up every time you went somewhere, but you learned. You learned the hard way, but you learned.
Yeah. But I mean, you can't, if you really want to learn and progress. If you ask someone to review something, they've got to tell you. And they got to tell you what you're doing wrong. Otherwise, if they only tell you what you're doing right, and they don't let you know what you do wrong, you'll never improve, right? And I think that's I saw someone recently online where they were interacting with another creator and they're like, oh, a mentor. And then they had a Kickstarter and the guy broke it down like, okay, have preview pages, like at least 5 to 10 pages of preview so people can see. He's like, you only have the cover with no interior art. And he was giving pointers on how to set up his Kickstarter. And the guy was completely insulted and started ripping into him. He's like, okay, maybe I misunderstood. You said you were looking for advice and like mentorship. And this guy's ran like, I don't know how many Kickstarters, like he's ran 30 Kickstarters. So he was giving him like bullet points on how to improve his page to have success, right? To have a successful, and the guy was completely insulted that he like if all you wanted was praise, don't ask for mentorship.
Yeah.
Right?
I think we're doing the younger generation a disservice by sugarcoating any criticism we have, or just not even saying the criticism.
Yeah.
Because they don't respond to it well. But like at the Kubert school where I went, they were like, your editor's gonna rip you apart. Like, so get used to it now. If you can't get used to it, we don't want you to spend a bunch of time and money at this school if you're not gonna make it. Like learn now that you're not right for this business.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a cool thing about now, but it's also a detriment. It's like a lot of this is like kids that just like have innate talent. They get like really big on Instagram, so they make their own comic book. You know what I mean? But they don't have that kind of educational system background to it. You know, but at the same time, like I'm of the mind of like if your art looks good, I don't think the comic books need to be one style. I don't think that they need to look uniform. And I think that like certain people have a certain idea of what good art is in their personal mind, and that's not like the broad spectrum of things. Like I knew people that thought that Mike Mignola was a sloppy artist and his art was lazy, and I'm just like, what the fuck? You know how hard it is to draw things that look simple? Like it's impossible.
It took him years to do that, to figure that out and develop that style.
So I mean, like I think that like, you know, there is a good thing to like having somebody look at your art and break it down like that, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? And we're in like this new world of comics where like half of the talent, at least in the crowdfunding space that you guys are in, is going to be like those kids that like, you know, they got really big on Instagram and they teamed up with somebody to do a comic book with them. And I find that exciting at the same time, while I understand that like they don't really understand art on the other hand, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So a good way to find out if you're getting decent criticism or not is that style is actually supposed to be off limits. Now, if you're a publisher and you have a specific style you're looking for, okay, that's different. But if you're going to criticize somebody's style, that's just your opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, the criticism should be about perspective, about lighting, about,
Like
you know,
panel layouts, how it flows,
storytelling. Yeah.
Storytelling, the beats of the like from panel to panel, how you set up the story within the panels. Like we had another creator on a while back, and he sent us his book, so we read them, and I read it, and he had like this turn page, and it was a big splash. And it was so striking, but then the story continued for like 2 or 3 more pages. And I was like, man, if you would have ended that first issue on that splash page, because it was such a powerful moment too, with a turn page, that leaves you like wanting like finish that issue like on a high, making people want more. Then it
let the fish off the hook.
Yeah, that's it. Kind of like, I was like, man, you know, like, not that it wasn't. Like I said, it's not bad, but man, that was such a powerful like turn page, and like the last page, if it was that, and it was such a big story moment too, that ending it on that, especially for your first issue, right? That's where you're trying to hook people in. All right. You want to make sure they come back for that second issue. So you want to leave an impression. And I was like, you know, if the story would have ended right there, it would have left a much stronger impression overall, you know?
Especially in indie comics, there's no specific page count, right?
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be 22 pages. It could be 18.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. And like you could have started, and it kind of left the cliffhanger too, like yes or no, like, and the reveal would have been right at the beginning of the second issue, right? So it's kind of like, if you want to know, then back this second issue or pick up the second issue, and you'll find out right away in the first 3 pages of the second issue what that splash page the consequence of that splash page was, you know. So it kind of entices people to pick up that follow-up issue. So yeah, and he was like, yeah, it was my first comic, and he's like, hindsight, now that I look back on it, he's like, yeah, for sure, I would have like, but he's like, I was like, and I'm not saying like it's constructive criticism, which I was doing. Like, I wasn't like, oh, that shit, or you don't know how to tell a story. Like, it was still a great story. Like, it was a type of book that's not my jam, so I wasn't sure if I'd enjoy it. But I read the story and I was like, man, I enjoyed this way more than I thought I would, right? Because it's not really my shtick, my kind of what I'm usually into. And I was like, you did a good job, because I didn't think I would like it, or not that I wouldn't like it, but it just wouldn't be for me. And I ended up liking it a lot. And I think that's why I went and picked up these small things to like, it could be even better, right? It was good that it hooked me, that I probably wouldn't be your target audience. And, you know, like, and I was like, you have something good here. And like, just elevating it to that next level, you know,
that's part of constructive criticism too, is tell the good and the bad, not just the bad. But everyone would redo their first book.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah.
That's part of the trial by fire. A lot of people are hesitant to start. It's like, no, because they know they've got more to learn. It's like, but you're really only going to learn the rest of what you need to know by doing the book. And no, it won't be perfect. You just got to do it anyway.
Yeah. And I think people underestimate a good turn page. You know, like in comics, that turn page, like, you know, you get that center double splash. You know, some books, the story's built to that center double splash, right? Because you have the staples there. So you get that perfect full sheet double splash, and you build a moment up to there. And I remember as a kid, when you get that double splash, right? You open up the middle of your book and you get that double splash, and it's just this epic moment of the story, and it just hits you as a reader, and especially as a young reader, a kid, so visually like stimulating, right? You're like, wow, that just blew my mind, you know, like.
I think when Walter Simonson did that all splash page version of Thor, where he fights this Midgard serpent, I probably turned the pages on that thing so many times it fell apart on me. Like,
yeah.
But that's something unique to comics, right? They're not going to teach you that when they teach you how to write a film script or a novel. That page turn is very unique to comics.
Yeah. And it's fun when a person nails that turn page. When you read a comic, you're like, oh, then you close it and you put it down. You're like, fuck, that was good. You know, you go back to it, you remember it, you know, like, and I just love it.
So what do you think about our book?
Oh, well,
what's the constructive criticism? I mean, I worked on the term pages, but I want to hear your guys's. I don't know how much time we have left, but
the thing is we read it on PDF, so that's a lot different than flipping through it. But yeah, like a turn page, I'd say like it's kind of like the opposite feeling of a jump scare. It's like it's the same notion, but like it's more of a joyful thing than like a cringeworthy thing. You know what I mean? Like that's the best way I could put like a good turn page. But this book, dude, I absolutely adore it, man. Like, I'm not really into books about like magical children too often. It's not about things that aren't particularly somebody's jam, but like this is good. I'm enjoying this. Like I said, it's got kind of like the beginning almost has a horror-ish angle. It's almost like, because like I said, the book starts with her almost being cursed, and then she gets gifted, and then of course, like we said earlier, the action with the U.S. government and all that. But I think I know where you're going with this book, and I think that it's going to be a wonderful little journey, and I think that this might be the one that gets you noticed. You guys, you know what I mean, Nate and Carl. I mean, I guess you're noticed already because you're published a bit, but I think that this has the potential to be well, it's already as good as most of the indie stuff I see on coming out from most bigger indie labels. You know what I mean, like the Booms and the IDWs of the world, and it could fit right above there. It's maybe a little more entertaining than some of the stuff that they've been doing, because a lot of A lot of that just seems by the numbers now, and they seem to just be doing a lot of IPs lately. You know what I mean? It's like they're living off of doing Supernatural and like Serenity comics and stuff, and that's fine. I like both of those properties, okay, but like, you know, like I don't particularly understand why comic book companies are like just surfacing off of the pennies they get from, you know, because I've guaranteed the licensee is taking most of that shit, right? And you guys don't have to worry about that. Like, what you guys have to worry about is like this thing getting picked up for a show, and you having to wonder if some bozo is going to ruin your guys' beautiful book. You know what I mean? That you guys got it the other way around.
It's one thing I wanted to do is create all original stories, and I have so many stories. I think Carl, did you read the one Never Say? Did you read that one, Carl?
I think so. Yeah.
It's like a zombie apocalypse, but I made these really cool zombies. They're not zombies in the normal sense. Their skin gets really tight on their faces. Their eyes bug out. They get real wiry, and they're not aggressive unless you become aggressive or something happens that startles them. And they laugh like hyenas, and they echo you. So if you talk to them, they'll actually echo what you're saying. So it has this whole kind of level of creep to it. It happens in Seattle, and it's about a guy who is in the military, and he's very irresponsible, very chaotic life, and he is put in a situation when this outbreak happens, and he just takes off and like totally ditches a bunch of people. And then he wanders into the forest and meets a Native American woman who was a nurse in Seattle, but she's trying to make it, and they have to sort of live together. And it's not so much this; it's maybe like a Walking Dead. It's more about their relationship and what they have to go through together. But I wanted to write a story about just them and what their relationship was. And I thought, like, well, it's going to be boring, so let's put zombies in it. But I want to create original stories that like, I don't know, that mean something, like that are. I feel like there's a lot of comic book bros maybe that are like, hey, let's make a story, like, and nothing against them, but I feel like there's so much ground to cover story wise that could be fresh and fun, and people draw Venom and Spider-Man over and over and over.
Yeah, there's a risk aversion that I really can't tolerate anymore with Marvel and DC. You know, they don't want anything new. Like, how many times can we tell the same story over and over? You know, in indie comics, you don't get that. You get anything and everything.
And a lot of stories get a beginning and an ending, right? Where it's not
that was
continuous rehashing, like you said, of bringing back the same villains and just tweaking it a little bit just to make it slightly different. And, you know, it gets redundant and tiresome, like you said, you know, so.
That's a big appeal for me with indie books is I want to be able to make my stories like a novelist would.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there might be sequels, but there doesn't have to be sequels. And the books, you know, or at least a 5 or 6 run of books or less can stand on their own. You know, I want to do like a good 80-page graphic novel, something like that, but not something you got to buy forever.
Yeah. Well, I feel your guys' pain with that. Like, I've been hyping indie comics on YouTube and online for since about like 2012, and like the entire time I've been doing that, I've been like, look at all these wonderful things, man. Check this out. And every time people would be like, hey, no, man, you don't understand. Batman's fighting the Joker right now. Yes, I'm fighting Magneto. You don't get it, man. This is happening. And I'm like, and it happened. And then before that, it happened
for almost 100 years.
Nothing against it. I mean, when I was 14, the X-Men were my world. But
well, yeah, because as a new reader, this is all fresh and new to you, right? As a new reader, you know, coming in. But after you've been reading these books for like 20 years, like you said, a new writer jumps on and they have their favorite characters. So like I've always wanted to write Magneto. So he's writing like maybe the 300th story with Magneto in it, you know? So it's like that creator wants to take a spin with it. But as a reader who's been reading it you're like, okay, Magneto again, or, you know, like you said, but like you said, I can't fault anyone because as a new reader,
No.
when I came in, I love like Eric Larson's Amazing Spider-Man. That was like my jam, and his interpretation of Venom was killer. You know, with the tongue, the saliva, the jagged teeth. You know, he brought Todd's design, just elevated it to that next level of this grotesque, like because you guys were mentioning Venom, right? Turn him into a true monster, you know, like, and like as a kid, I loved it, you know. So
But how hard was it to push that new character into the Spider-Man world?
yeah,
I mean, it goes years without something original like that working its way in, you know?
Yeah.
I heard that Absolute Batman is doing well, and a lot of there's an artist friend of mine, Jeff Monk, and he was talking to him, and he said the only reason it's doing well is because it's just like that shit crazy. It's just so off the wall.
Yeah.
You know, that it's kind of turned things. But yeah, it's. Do you guys know? I don't want to change subject real, but like, do you know Maria the Wolf?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Cover artist.
I want artists to draw characters that are original and unique. This is her take on our drip, but after he changes, or Jack.
Oh, she did you a sketch cover at a con?
Yep.
Cool.
But it's like, I don't know. I feel like these artists, they draw these things over and over again. And a couple artists recently have said that they would work with us for next to nothing because they like our idea. Do you guys know Raymond Gay?
I'm not familiar. The name doesn't ring a bell. Maybe I've seen his work, but it doesn't ring a bell, the name off the top of my head.
He's like a upper level Spawn artist, and from what I know, he's working on something, and it'll be one of the covers on Carl's interiors. But it's just cool because it's like, for the Night of the Chihuahuas, there are a lot of homage covers, and people have seen them and they laugh and they're like, "Oh, I'd love to do that." You know, like, it's just, I feel like comics should be fun.
Yeah. So you were asking about the books, so I pulled it up on my phone and scrolling through just to freshen, because I just read it, right? I haven't really had time to sit with it and soak it in. And there's one sequence, and we're talking about it before we went live on air, where Carl was bringing up something. You guys did a total collaboration on this page where you had told him you wanted a nine grid panel system in it, and he wasn't sure. And this is fantastic. I love this page, how the story breaks up in the 9 panels, but how it interconnects through the side, right? You get the raindrops in the puddle, and then the kid, and then the tree kind of comes through the side through the other 5 panels on the side. I don't think Johnny loaded the other page, but I love the following page where after in the chaos she stumbles, and it's like a half page splash almost, and then you get the sequence with the 3 panels after. I find these 2 pages, one after the other, is fantastic.
There's 3 in a row. There's this one too, like,
yeah, from before. But I love the lead up to where, because it's such a great moment in the story, and it leads to the discovery of the hammer, right? And I love that sequence where she tumbles down.
well, you can
hill.
see her falling right here. I didn't clip. I didn't want to like.
But that other, then you follow up with that other page, and it's so good because you get the top half is like a bigger image, so you really get the tumble. Then you get the action with the 3 panels that follow, and it's such good story beats, like through the panels and the visual storytelling. I love that part of the book. I thought that was really good, and it's always fun. I always love a page with some rain in it. You know, you get the
that panel. The panel with the puddles, man, like that had to take you a while, man. Like, just, that's beautiful.
I guess I work faster than people think I do. I don't know. So the rain is actually in Photoshop too.
Okay, the actual streaks.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
I don't know how I would get that with the graphite. It would just smear if I tried to do it any other way, or I would have to go in with like white chalk or paint or something on top.
White out. I know a lot of people did like white out streak or like splash white out on their drawings to get like certain like rain effects.
Yeah, I wanted the diagonal lines though, so I don't know. It worked in Photoshop, but those 9 panel grids, that was all Nate. And then the page where she's falling, that was me. So that was really something neither one of us could have done on our own. That was really a big win for the collaboration right there.
Yeah. And
I think that was cool working with Carl too, because it's like on some of the pages I had a very clear idea of what to do, and we talk about a little bit, and then he would kind of execute, and then the other stuff just he would roll with it. And I feel like we had some revisions, but they were fairly light overall. Like Carl hits it pretty head on. I think in Night of the Chihuahuas 2 issue 2, there might have been 3 revisions and just like light stuff over that. I think that one's 20 pages. But yeah, it's getting to work with a certain level of artist is it makes a difference too, I think.
Yeah, there's always something though. I mean, I only give one piece of advice to a new artist or new writers. I don't care how good you are, everyone needs an editor. Everyone needs someone to take, if it's not a professional editor, everyone needs someone to take a second look at what you did.
I will agree 100%. I approved a page with no dialogue on it. That was one of my proudest moments.
You said, you're tired. Sometimes you do long nights, things slip through the cracks. You need a fresh set of eyes on things to really give you an outside perspective too, because you get so close to a thing, right, when you're working on it, and it's hard to step back and get like an objective perspective on it, and sometimes fresh eyes can just,
I'm doing too much. I have to admit it. I have such big aspirations, and I feel like if I don't push, it's not going to happen. Like Carl and I and another guy, Austin, we put on a gallery event about a month ago, maybe. And it was like one of the coolest things. We got a gallery, set up all original artwork. We got, I think, 8 artists in there. And it wasn't, I thought there'd be more sales, but people did sell. We had Martinelli's. We would pour glasses of sparkling apple cider because we couldn't have alcohol, and I just don't want alcohol. But I'm just trying to do different things to, like, how do we get out there? How do you make yourself known? There's a sea of creators. Like, how does somebody see Carl or Porkchop? Like,
you gotta get them out there, man. Like Rick Remender said, man, you gotta make comics. You're doing it, dude. Like it takes a while, man. And like even for like God tier people, it took them like forever to get noticed finally, man. And usually when they do, it's for a piece of crap. You know what I mean? So maybe you should underperform a little bit, Nate. Maybe that's what you all need, because like that's kind of how it kind of works when like
then we wouldn't burn out, right? We just put half the effort in.
Carl can drop stick figures, and I'll write a story with it.
Well, it depends.
I think the problem is like anyone now can print on demand, and print small run. It's more affordable, and anyone can get a website. Anyone can do a Kickstarter. But how do you get your books in the stores? They haven't really worked that out. Yeah. I mean, they haven't even really worked that out for themselves with Diamond collapsing. Like, that's hard for everybody right now.
There's not a lot of profit going to stores either. I mean, sadly, it's like it's cool to get into stores, but we're making change or $1, because they want to sell it. You can't sell an indie comic book for $15, 20-page comic book. So
that's an online Kickstarter only type of thing. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I wanted to say something before I forget. I don't know how long we're going to go, but if people are watching this video, you have 24 hours from the time the video starts. I don't know, somewhere in there in the next 24 hours to get that offer if you buy Carl's original artwork. So I don't want to extend it forever. And somebody say like, in 2 months, like, well, I donated.
So let's be specific now. So in the next 24 hours, if someone backs the original art tier for one of Carl's original pieces,
at 8:16 exactly tomorrow, you'll get this book, Drip, gold foil cover of Drip
in black and white. So this
black and white gold foil title, which is very cool. Ian Cinco is the artist for that cover of Drip.
Yep.
Yeah. So the next 24 hours, so if someone backs the original art tier, Nate will throw that cover in with a little extra goodie for you. Yeah.
Right.
I want to talk about, because you're asking about the book, what we thought, and on the second issue, the lead up to this splash, because this is a splash, this is a turn page, right? And
It's a
I love the
double-page spread.
build up. Yeah, double page spread. I love the build up to this with the guys, and we don't have the previous page, but the way you set it up with the big bubble, right? Fire, and then you get that big action sequence with the thunder, and it really shows how powerful she is, right? With the hammer, and how it's instinctual, like that connection becomes instinctual with the hammer, feeds off her emotion and energy, you know,
like puts her head back and it just comes to her.
Yeah.
But do you get when she? I think is it after this when she like gets carried away? Do you understand what happened?
Like the rage goes through her.
No, when she's flying through the air.
Like after the helicopter.
Yeah, right. Like kind of right here.
Okay.
She's not really sure how to control it, right? It's kind of just yanking her along, right? Yeah, she's just
like
the greatest American hero moment.
I mean, she gets it, but like she doesn't have complete control over it yet. Like she doesn't get the inertia of the impact of how hard she swings.
Carl drew a helicopter and she's like cartwheeling through the sky. I love it.
Yeah. But here it also shows she doesn't have complete control over the hammer either. Like at the end where it brings her down to the bottom and kind of holds her there.
That is kind of in the concept of worthiness.
Yeah.
So her anger that she unleashes because she's blaming, like, I hate you all. Like, and it's related to her father.
Yeah.
And that I thought I don't know if the right word is cinematic, but you know, that what happens to her after that, you guys know, but it's like, wow, that's a great way to end the first issue or first chapter.
How much time passes from the father passing to where she finds the hammer?
2 weeks, I think, right?
1 or 2 weeks, yeah.
1 or 2 weeks, okay.
Says it in there.
Yeah, so it's still pretty fresh, right? So obviously the emotions would run high.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that like thing that Carl was saying, it's when I've been to Hawaii, you know, people are very outspoken about, you know, tourists and not liking them. And I hear them and I hear the conversations, and like her being Hawaiian and like going to the auntie's house, and, you know, it's a really interesting culture. They're very family based. The whole aloha thing I want to learn more about, because it's more than just a hello. There's like so much meaning and depth to it. But yeah, they're that whole conversation where, you know, she says, where would we be without the tourism money? And he says, happy.
Yeah,
you know?
and paradise.
But it's kind of are you sure? Like, you know, who is, you know, the younger generation might think they're happy, but when COVID hit, I talked to my cousin, they lost all their tourism. It made a huge difference for them.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it's
but I don't think it's just unique to like one place. I think it's just innate in human nature.
Well, any place that relies on tourism, it's going to happen.
Not just tourism. I think just like if you take gentrification, for example, like now I live in the country, and since the pandemic, since COVID, a lot of city people, because of the shutdowns, started buying properties in the country. So now the prices of all the houses where I live now I couldn't afford to buy a house where I live now. So then you have resentment towards all these city people coming in and overbidding on all these houses so that they could get a home with a backyard. So then you kind of resent these city people for, like, we have shops here with people that have blue collar jobs that can't afford to live in the neighborhood that they work in anymore, you know? So it builds this resentment between people. And I think that's just innate in human nature, whether it's tourism or gentrification or, I think that's a subject that's hard. Like people that have money come in and kind of, whether you like it or not, can kind of set the rules by flexing, right? Their wealth, and there's not much you can do about it, right? Unless as a community you stand together and say, well, we won't accept this as a community, but it's hard to do, to get everyone in on the same page, right?
I think the U.S. the U.S. took over Hawaii right in the 50s or something because of a strategical point. So I think that's where I hear a lot of bitterness come from, is like they didn't even have a choice. It was just taken from them. I mean, Hawaii is amazing. So
I mean, all of North America, really, if you want to really go back. And
Yeah.
let's be honest.
Somebody was going to do it, so they probably figured they were best off with us.
Well,
But that's the
Japan
thing,
always.
somebody was going to do it because it's like you said, it just happens. It happens everywhere. It's human nature.
Japan always assumed it was theirs, because they're kind of in the same strip of islands, and like they claimed all of that all the way. They had the Maoris all the way down to Hawaii, claimed as pretty much and that's why there's so many Japanese there still, is they like like they believe that the Hawaiian people are Japanese for the most part, part of Japan. And that's why they attacked Pearl Harbor. They literally thought that we'd just give it up and give it back to them. They didn't think we'd fight them about it. Like I don't know where they got that logic from, but like that was the plan, from what I understand.
Who knows when it comes to war and people fucking
Yeah.
But
good high note to end the show.
I was going to ask though, back to these action scenes that Joe was talking about. Like, what was how was the working with that with each other? Like, was a lot of this kind of Carl, or did Nate come up with the shots with the her fighting the army? Like,
I think
they're getting checked first issue too. That one's probably a little more pulse pounding, I'd say, when they're in the back of the truck.
that was Back of the Truck is issue 1, I think.
Yeah.
We expanded the pages. That was cool working with Carl. Like he said, there's no set amount of pages. I mean, business wise, it's probably not the best idea to keep expanding and adding more pages. I think it was just a back and forth talking about, how it would look. I think I write kind of loose. I don't give a ton of direction. So
It works for me.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has their preferences. Every writer and every artist has their preferences. His script is just loose enough for me to be creative, but still know where I need to go. So that was like Nate said. Sometimes it's just lucky. I had no idea what the script was going to be like until he gave it to me, and I had already agreed at that point. But it worked out really great.
Yeah. Cool. So we usually like to close out the episode by having you guys plug stuff, which you already did. WonderCon next week, right?
Yeah.
You got more stuff too. You asked me about, like, you got the stuff coming up with Brandon that you wanted to plug, and you had a couple of things on your mind, right, Nate?
Oh yeah, I wanted to actually ask if you would drop in the chat porkchopexp.com. We just got our pork chop website up and running fully, so I don't know if that can go in the chat, but that's we have nightofthechihuahuas.com, but that's all Chihuahua stuff. So we're trying to get porkchopexp.com get traffic to that.
Okay, we can put it in descriptions as well. We can add that into the descriptions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember everything I sent you. I know Drip 2. If you have artwork for that,
I don't think you sent me any.
It was in a folder in there, but it's okay. Drip 2, I believe we're launching in May.
Okay.
And we are finishing up with that. We've got a lot of good feedback on that series. Again, really proud, really lucky to work with Brandon. That book I wrote it for an anthology, and it was 16 pages long, and Brandon saw so much more in it. He's like, can we make this bigger? So now it's 66 pages, and yeah.
16 to 66.
It,
That's the expansion.
yeah, but it's like like how these look like you complimented Carl on her rolling down the hill. It's like storyboards. Like I can write something short, but if I know that this artist is going to work with me and we can make it look good, really you can tell a story without saying a lot of words, and that's what I'm kind of appreciating, because Night of the Chihuahuas, we tried to stick so much dialogue into each panel. It felt really crowded. I don't remember what else I had in the hold on.
Just remind people we have the QR code for the Kickstarter for Of Thunder. So if people can scan that to bring you to the Kickstarter page for Of Thunder, and you have as add-ons, you can go pick up Drip, Family Man, and White Wolf.
Yep.
Carl's White Wolf. Did you have any those 3 titles? Anything else in the add-ons? Oh, that's a beautiful wraparound there.
Yeah.
You guys funded too. You're at $502.
First day funded. Congrats, guys. It's
show. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So and we're just going to be trotting around, and I'm thinking about taking the later part of the year off and working on stories. We're working on the documentary. Probably going to be filming the Family Man movie. And then I have this idea, me and all my crazy ideas. I want to do a punk rock / comic convention. And I've been looking at locations right now, and I don't know what it would take to do it, but it sounds like fun. I mean,
hit up Kenan Marshall Keller. Like he'll let you know.
His brain, because he does Permanent Damage in LA.
He just did his 8th one, I think, or 7th one.
Yeah,
it's called
Permanent
Damage.
Yeah. Kenan Marshall Keller. He could tell you all the headaches of trying to put on a comic event with live music. So
live punk rock.
His brain. Reach out to him, pick his brain. He could give you probably a lot of good tips, things to do, things to avoid.
Stephen Marshall Keller.
Kenan Marshall Keller. He's the writer for The Jungle and Revenge is for the Living.
Keenan. Kenan Marshall Keller.
Yeah. So you could pick his brain if you want to do a comic music hybrid type event.
And he's a wonderful guy. He's in LA too, in the LA area too. He just did his somewhere on the outskirts of like the LA metro area. So maybe you're a SAC guy though, not LA.
No, I'm in Phoenix.
Oh, you're in Phoenix.
Okay. Yeah, I'm from NorCal, but I don't live there anymore.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know some guys in that area that we could hook you up. You know, Brad Dwyer or Scott Gerard Rule or Eric Mingle. Yeah, those guys are awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I just met Scott Gerard Rule because I guess him and Ian Cinco are good friends, and I gave him a copy of Ian's cover on Drip.
Yes, Scott's a madman. I love that dude. He's good people.
So just to remind people, the art is complete on issues 1 and 2, right? So basically, once it's funded, off to print, fulfillment. So it should go pretty quick to fulfill once this campaign is over. So it shouldn't take too long for people to get their books. So that's always an added bonus when you're back in a Kickstarter, that the book is actually finished and ready to go.
Yeah, that's always a relief. That's used to be like kind of my rule, but then I kind of started like backing people even though they didn't have their books done. I don't mind the wait, but like I don't know. I've only not received my book I think 4 times. That's really good out of like 260 something. Like
wow. Yeah. Oh.
So just to remind people,
I believe in the Kickstarter method. You know what I mean?
You could go meet these guys at WonderCon because you'll both be there, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So that's next weekend. If you want, go swing over to WonderCon. Go meet up with Nate and Carl. Go say hi.
We'll be in Small Press booth 945.
Yeah, so go check them out. Go say hi. Buy some of their books. Yeah, man. Always a pleasure talking to you guys. Congrats on funding on day 1. And man, best of luck for the rest of the campaign. Hopefully the rest of the way goes well, and you guys are pretty happy with the end result of your campaign.
Yeah.
And with people backing now, you can just do it leisurely. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about the book getting finished. You don't have to worry about the book getting funded. Just put your money in, and you know it's coming to you, man. That's the best kind of campaign, in my opinion.
I would like to make enough money to, be able to pay Carl going forward.
Yeah, keep him around a little bit because he might have a bit of a wandering eye.
Yeah.
We're
And
like,
then we
"Wow,
got all our other projects we're juggling right now.
I got hired to do Venom."
I would like to see Carl's Venom, to tell you the truth.
That's pretty amazing.
It'd be fun to draw. But I just White Wolf 2 is done. I just got to launch the Kickstarter for that. I'm working on the 3rd issue of it because it's a 3-issue miniseries.
Do you have a date in mind or a month in mind?
No, I want to get through this first. Like Nate said, we're juggling too many things, and he can back me up on this. I got a little fussy about it, trying to juggle too much, and because I got to be focused when I draw, or I can't.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do one thing at a time now.
And I will say it's been really cool learning with Carl because it's just different work styles. Like it rubs me the wrong way sometimes, but it's like I'll text him like 1,000 times in a day, and he's like, "Dude, I'm trying to draw. Like I don't need your texts right now." and like I thought about it, I'm like, it actually makes sense. I should probably stop bugging him.
Try to phone in, get things done. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like a spaz. My brain is like a blender. I'm trying to set up the Kickstarter. I'm like, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this.
Yeah, I understand that when you're in the zone, man. You know what I mean? And like somebody pulls you out of it, it's like getting woken up. It's like it's not a pleasant experience. You're kind of grumpy about it.
I think Carl just needs to get a second phone, and that one he turns off when he's working, and keep his personal, like a work phone, and his personal phone.
He could just block me for the while.
Yeah,
my phone died. I don't know what happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, I used to have a job where you couldn't have your cell phone. That's probably why I kind of got
used to that.
Now that I'm back in the normal world, like as I had a security clearance and I guess an important job or whatever with the military, and you don't interrupt somebody when they're installing a fuse in a bomb.
Wait a sec.
So I'm not used to being interrupted at work.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, so Carl, this
but
book,
I like this job a lot better, so I'm just gonna put up with it.
Yeah. That book junk, man. $9.99. That's all, man.
Well, it's digital.
So
it's only available digitally. It's a pretty heavy book because it's almost 150 pages. So I don't even try to ship it to people. It would be a ridiculous cost right now to ship it UPS or whatever.
It looks amazing, man. Like I'm gonna get it though.
Thanks.
For a PDF, hell yeah.
Well, and I always sell the originals at Comic Cons.
Okay, so you do have printed versions, just you don't ship them. I gotcha. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that I wouldn't. It's just like, who's gonna pay $30?
Shipping.
For shipping? It's more than the book cost.
It's sad, but that's anyway.
I'm gonna let Joe actually get to the outro this time, man. Like he's like trying to get there, and I'm like,
well, thanks again, guys, for coming on. Pleasure. Remember, people, Of Thunder live on Kickstarter now. Go back it. And on that note, Johnny, it's outro time.